All right, it is launch day again here at Invite Press. We are really excited for our latest title, Roses for Ashes, a message of hope from the book of Ruth. And we are here live today with Miguel and Angel Pozo from live from Spain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is great to
Hello.
see you, and congratulations on the release of your book.
Thank you so much. It is great to have the book published in English and to be with you today. Yeah, thank you.
Here it is. It is live. You have not yet seen the English
No.
version, I understand. So this is a first time. And this is a first for us to actually have republished something that was originally published in another language. And we got connected through your inquiry over the internet. Love the work. We were excited to partner with you in the publication of this, which I hope is going to be quite beneficial for both individuals and churches here in the States and in the English speaking countries around the world moving forward.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it is like exciting for me because I've received a lot from the United States. My whole family, I'm part of it was a disaster, and God used a missionary from the States, and
Oh, wow.
I've studied in seminary in Spain that was sustained by people from the States. I studied in the States, in Texas, there in Fort Worth, and well, it's for me a pleasure to give something back there to the States.
That is awesome. Talk about the backstory of this book. Why did you originally write it
Mhm.
there? For your local context there in Spain, and we'll kind of get to the American version of it. But talk about the origins of it.
Okay, in 2019, I made a preaching series through the Book of Ruth in my church that I'm pastoring, and during the coronavirus confinement and like all the general feeling of despair
Mm.
and not knowing what was going on, I thought we as a church need exactly the message of Ruth
Mm.
right now, and that's why I started writing. I could not leave from my apartment, so with my kids, but
Yeah.
so yeah, I thought this is the message that the church needs, and I want to make available for them. But and also that was a precious message for the coronavirus time. But right now in the post-COVID era, we still as a church we still go through very difficult times,
Yes.
through times of grieving and so I think we need to remember that we have a redeemer,
Mm.
that we have hope, even though we go through dark valleys and situations that we really don't like going through them. So it's like a celebration of the hope and the kinsman redeemer that we have in
Yes.
Christ. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I love that. Hope is such an important part of my understanding of the Christian journey as well. We can't love if we don't come out of a framework of hope.
Hmm.
So hope to me is the connecting tissue between faith and love. Paul puts those in order for a reason. So hope is a critical piece of it. So yeah, I hope. And speaking as someone who lives here in the States in Texas, hopefully I'm speaking for others as well, in the sense that I think we probably could all still use some hope. There's so much, even in the past week here, politically and all the things that have been happening.
Yeah.
We need a message of hope right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So you published this in Spanish for your church, and then decided that this might have a greater impact, and so you reached out to an American publisher and us.
Yeah. Well, I thought that this is a message, a powerful message. And so a lot of people wrote me back and telling me that the book had helped them.
Mm.
And so I said, yeah, that's a good resource for the church in America and the English church and in general. And so I tried to make it available. And also my sister-in-law, she's from Northern Ireland, and she offered to translate it for me, and that was a blessing. And so
Wow.
bless her heart.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned that you were in Texas. Talk a bit about the connection to the States. You were in seminary here for a bit?
Yeah, well, I received a scholarship for going to study in Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth.
Uh-huh.
And so, well, it was difficult to go there, to prepare everything, to raise funds, and to move my whole family there without anything. I don't come from a rich family or anything that we get to pay for that. So yeah, God made it, and that was a blessing. The time there,
Wow.
It was a challenge, a big challenge.
I guess. Yeah.
Because of the money, of course. It is difficult to live there. It is expensive to live there, more than living in Spain. And I learned that, but
Yeah.
but also my wife had some health issues.
Oh, wow.
I had to work a lot, and I had to study a lot to come back as soon as possible. And yeah, it was difficult, but it was a blessing. I could experience myself the way that God uses the suffering and the tough times to make us grow, to trust in Him, and to know that Christ is enough for us.
Wow. I absolutely love that. And we haven't had an opportunity to be in person, obviously, and a little bit more limited in our history's relationship relative to some of the authors we have had. But, to me, the relationship of the author and the publisher is very important. Invites we see what we do as ministry. And the more we understand about one another's stories, then the more powerful I think our collective work is together. And that's what I see for this book. I see the future of this book as one that hopefully blesses and ministers to people through the churches and the leaders that are connected to Invite, and they see the possibilities for using the book of Ruth as a message of hope for people, which obviously comes not only from your professional work, but from your life as well. And you've got 3 under 10. Is that right? 3 children under 10 years old. So when they were here, those were babies.
Well, when we were there, I just had one, the older one. Yeah. and she was a baby back then.
Yes.
Yeah. My oldest is 9, and she was 1 year and a half. She was a toddler when we were there.
Yeah. Wow. Let's talk a bit about some more about the book. We've got a couple of nice endorsements that we have received about the book. Monica Carvajal. Carvajal, I got that wrong. This book is a novel, a study, and a gift to those who are suffering in some way. Miguel Ángel helps us to see the book of Ruth through the eyes of its protagonist, with a desire to encourage us to see the future with the hope that comes from knowing that for all God's children, what is evil will never be the last. That's great. Good endorsement. We also got endorsement from Victor Segura, a D-Min student from Mexico City. How do you know Victor?
Well, he was colleague. I studied with him.
Oh wow! Yeah,
and also great. I served with him in the same church when we were living in Texas.
Oh wow, that is wonderful. After reading only a few pages, one feels the heart of a teacher. I love that. Miguel Ángel does a great job in not only presenting the text in a way that everyone can understand, but also in bringing it home with practical applications and questions to make sure the reader takes the content to heart. One of my hopes for the book, and part of what I want to even accomplish with our time right now with this video, is to help the thousands of churches that are connected to Invite to see the power and potential of this resource as something they can use in their local churches, either individually or in a group setting. In fact, let me talk about that a little bit. Currently you're on Amazon, and we've got it set up both as a Kindle and paperback in this English-speaking version. We would love to see that go up in the rankings today. Part of what we tried to accomplish with the launch is to get the book to go as high as possible in the rankings, because it helps to influence the computer algorithms to give you more exposure and other people there to see it. But if you're watching this and you're in the States and you want to, or in an English speaking context, and you want bulk, you can also buy those bulk directly from our website at inviteresources.com, because we've got some discounts set up there, which are more favorable to churches versus on Amazon. So it's kind of both and. We can do one or the other. And that's what that little scroll across the bottom there is for. So talk about what you hoped what would be your biggest dream? What would you hope to see as a result of this book being published in English?
Well, I would not like to see we as a church lose our hope as easily as we did with the coronavirus crisis. I think it is not that just back then, we needed hope. We still need hope. We have always needed hope. But the status of our spiritual health was like put to test during the coronavirus.
Yes.
And it was terrible. So what I want is to change that mood, that worldview in our perspective, our Christian perspective. We need to stop looking at the situation that we have around us, and we need to understand that God is the master of the situation. He is above all our pain, all our despair. He's not above because he doesn't care about it. He's above it because he's using it. He's with us during the dark times, but he has a wonderful plan. We need to regain that hope. We need to reconnect to the book of Ruth, to the God of the book of Ruth. And so what I would like to see is a church in Spain, in Latin America, in North America, that really has hope, because we do have hope, a real hope in Christ.
That is great. It is so good to talk to you in person after all of our months of emails, to celebrate with you the launch of this book. And I have high hopes for what this book will do in the coming months and coming years for the church, for the message of hope, and for the people who so desperately need it here and around the world. So thank you for writing it.
No, it's like Paul said, like, I'm impelled. I needed to do it. So it's not my pleasure. Thank you for helping me with this.
Yeah. Absolutely. So today, if you're watching this and here today on the 23rd or in the coming days, please go to Amazon to make your purchase, to support Miguel, to support Invite Resources, and to find how this book can be useful to you in your context. And for bulk discounts, always go to inviteresources.com. So thank you. Be blessed.